What's good, guys? Yo, my apologies. What's good, guys? It's me, Joe the Weep here, back again with another video. I sound a little sick. Anyway, this is what if Jotaro was in ReZero. Transporters ReZero Part 3. Okay, I said it wrong. Anyway, I'm just gonna get straight into it. Just watch the last part. Leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get straight into it. Now, last time Jotaro got kicked out of the Roswell Mansion because Dio is Roswell. Literally. They got the same voice actor, so it's Dio. Okay, anyway, Reinhardt shows up, and I can't remember if Reinhardt was. I'm pretty sure Reinhardt met with Jotaro. Yeah, they did. They did meet up in the part one to defeat Elsa. I think. I think they did. I can't remember. Tell me in the comments if I'm getting this wrong, and I can change this. I can take this whole part out. Anyway, so Reinhardt shows up and he says, "Subaru wanted me to speak with you, Jotaro," and Jotaro says he's training with Harmo. What does Subaru need? And Reinhardt says it's very important. I need you to come with me. And Jotaro stops training with his Harmo. He's figured out the technique with what Jonathan used. He can heal and restore his body parts. He can only do it to other people, but now he can do it to himself. And he also tested his abilities on a frog, so Felix helped out quite a lot. He can also go use Harmo to go through things. So in the future, it's going to be important. I just spoiled it, but you'd know what I mean if you read the light novel. But you'll see in the future what I'm talking about. Now, anyway, Reinhardt says, enough about it. It's very important. And yeah, so Jotaro just walks with him. And Felix said, does he need to come? And Reinhardt says, no, you stay here. And Reinhardt says, the witch cultists are going to be attacking soon. That's what Subaru said. He said to meet us at this location. And I don't know why. He says it's very important that it's just us two. Or they're going to attack a lot sooner and we're unprepared. He said we just only need the two of us. Well, I'll handle most of them. I know you defeated Elsa. But just tell me if you can't handle this. And I can call for more guards. I have a setup spot. And yeah, Subaru already messed up with that setup spot because Subaru ran through this a couple of times. Jotaro doesn't remember any of it. Yeah, he has to be around like Subaru to remember everything about what happens. And Subaru didn't tell him nothing, what was going on, what he was doing with his return my death. Subaru already did this 5 times, but it's about Jotaro, not Subaru. Anyway, yeah, so Subaru for the last 5 times was exploring how to find the witch cultists a lot earlier. And yeah, it took him, like I said, it took him 5 times. And yeah, Reinhardt sees that his traps are not activating to see if the guards will come. Sorry, I had a hiccup. It was a small one. Anyway, yeah, so Reinhardt stops and he says, my traps are not working, Jotaro, so we're going in blind. And then we see Subaru. And Subaru has one of his fingers broken. Yeah, like I said, he got injured from the explosion at the house. One of his body parts didn't heal all the way. So, yeah, it was his finger. And it got bruised because he was running away from Betelgeuse. Anyway, Subaru says, finally, Reinhardt, you finally shown up. And Jotaro says, why are you here, Subaru? You're supposed to be at the Roswell Mansion. And Subaru says, I found some leads about the witch cultists over here. Don't ask me how I found it. I just know. As Amelia's knight, it's my job to protect her. And Reinhardt says, well, the exams are going to be, the royal selection is going to be happening soon. You think they will be attacking before then? And Subaru says, there's no matter about them attacking sooner or later. We're going to kill them all right here. There is no turning back. That's why I said only bring you two. And you can get the credit, Reinhardt. Emilia doesn't need it because I'll be doing something else. I have another plan also. And I also will need you in a couple of days after the royal selection, Reinhardt. I found some other leads about the white whale too. And Reinhardt says, the white whale? How do you know all this? And he says, I found leads. And I've been doing a lot of researching around those areas. And it seems like there's a fog. So Subaru is lying a little bit. He says, so the white whale is most definitely coming around this area. I didn't want you to bring anyone else, because you probably would have brought Wilhelm, Jotaro. That's what I heard you were staying at the Kurush mansion. He would have most definitely would have went back to go find the whale. I need him to be at his most up guard. Anyway, we will be attacking Betelgeuse. I already ran into him. I was running away because I thought they saw me, and I cut my finger. And let's get straight to attacking them. First, we can, Subaru says, we can trap all of the witch cultists that are inside of the cave. We can kill them off that way, or we can just lead them out, and Reinhardt, you attack them with your loot house attack. I don't know what it's called. And Reinhardt says, or we can just capture all of them. That'll be a lot more safer. And Jotaro says, we should just trap them in the cave. And he says, Betelgeuse will be coming out of there. I know so. I tried a couple of times to get him to bait him out with a couple of things. So he's going to come out the cave if we close it in. And I think he's the archbishop of this witch cultist gang. So Reinhardt says he agrees to trap the other witch cultists that are not the archbishop in the cave. And he says, okay, let's go on with the plan. So Subaru says, okay, leave it to me. And Reinhardt is a little bit of suspicious of Subaru now. He says, how does he know all this? I need more information before I can accuse Subaru of doing anything. I don't think Subaru could be a part of the witch cultists. This is what Reinhardt's saying in his head. And Jotaro and Reinhardt are on top of the cave. And Jotaro says, Reinhardt, do you know anything more about this white whale? You seem quite worried. I know a little bit, but I don't know that much. How strong is it? And Reinhardt says, it killed his grandmother a long time ago. So it's very strong. But she lost her sword that was inherited by him. So that's why she probably lost. And Jotaro says, oh, my apologies. That must have been a hurtful memory to bring up. And Jotaro says, my apologies. I lost lots of friends too. I know how that pain feels. And Reinhardt says, it's nothing to worry about, but we need to focus on that. And Jotaro thinks, he says, I couldn't imagine losing my grandfather. It's been, I don't know how many weeks it's been since I've seen him. I don't even know if time here goes by faster. Happen if he's already dead. He's thinking this in his head. But Jotaro will be going back to his world soon. But we'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, Jotaro then sees Betelgeuse coming out, and Subaru says, come on, Betelgeuse. Is that all you got? You're very weak. And he says, there's no way you can capture Satella like that. The other witch. This is what Subaru is saying. And Betelgeuse says, how dare you speak to me like this? And Subaru also grabbed his gospel. And he says, your dumb book isn't going to help you. And Jotaro used his Star Platinum to punch a cave hole in, to trap all the other archbishops. I mean, not the other. My apologies. The witch cultist army, not all the archbishops. Because if the other archbishops were in that cave, Jotaro would have a lot of a harder time to trap them in a cave. That wouldn't make any sense. My apologies. I'm not gonna edit this out because I'm gonna be genuine, guys, like I used to be. Okay, so Betelgeuse says, "Oh, unseen." Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a minute since I made a video. Okay, so um, Betelgeuse uses his unseen hands, and Jotaro sees like a slimmer of it because Subaru is making him see it a little bit. But Subaru doesn't know that Jotaro can see it, and Reinhardt can also see it a little bit too. And Reinhardt jumps out and he uses his loot house attack, and Betelgeuse was barely able to control the attack. Well, he does get slashed, his arm slashed off. And Jotaro stops time and he says, "The world." And Jotaro walks right next to Betelgeuse. And Betelgeuse's arms move to try to attack Jotaro. And Jotaro says, "What?" And I'm pretty sure, like, the Archbishop powers, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, can someone tell me in the comments, could probably still move while in time stop because it's like magic. It's kind of like it's a power. It's not like it's because Satella is it's Satella's power kind of, but it's not Satella's, but it's Sloth's power. So it depends. I'm gonna allow it to move in the future in the time stops. Just tell me if that would be wrong in the lore of rezero. Anyway. So it tries to attack Jotaro, but Jotaro is too fast for it. He punches Betelgeuse's rib and leg so he could go down to the ground. And Betelgeuse falls straight to the ground and he says, "What was that?" And Reinhardt slashes off his other hand. And Reinhardt tries to go for another slash. And Subaru says, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. I never got this far. It only took me 5 times." And Jotaro says, "5 times for what?" And Subaru says, "I can't say any more. Just keep fighting Betelgeuse." And Subaru starts to see that maybe I can seal him. And Betelgeuse says, "I want to see the witch. I can't let myself die here." And Betelgeuse starts to fly away using the unseen hands. As Betelgeuse is flying, Reinhardt comes out of nowhere and kicks him right in the face. And Jotaro stops time and he moves to a spot where he can land a punch on Betelgeuse. And Betelgeuse uses his unseen hands, and Jotaro gets hit right in the leg and falls down to the ground. But he still is able to punch Betelgeuse in his other leg. And Betelgeuse says, how did you get past that defensive force? My unseen." And Subaru is just walking, and he says, "It took me a while to figure this out, Betelgeuse." And he says, "I waited for this day to come. If you want to see her so badly, come to me." And Betelgeuse turns around and tries to attack Subaru, and Subaru allows it. And then Betelgeuse stops. They can't see what's going on with Betelgeuse. And Reinhardt was about to pull out his sword again, and Jotaro says, "Stop. I think Subaru has already defeated him." And Subaru uses his freaking spirit gun. Seriously, I forgot what was that. He should use that spirit gun attack with spirits more, along with his unseen hands. Spoiler for season 2, if you don't know that already. I'm pretty sure you should already know. I said I was going to spoil it in the future. Unseen hands with spirit gun. Oh my goodness, that would be so OP. Okay, anyway. So Betelgeuse gets sealed off, and I guess technically, I don't know if Subaru gains the Archit's powers or not, but I'd like to give him the powers. So that's how he gets his unseen hands, and he just needs to break his seal from his Shamalak and stuff. And with the last of Betelgeuse's strength, he tries to attack Subaru, but Subaru uses he uses his Shamalak, and this disappears, and Betelgeuse falls to the ground and dies. And Jotaro says, "Oh my goodness, he could have been a lot more dangerous if Reinhardt wasn't here. I would have been able to take him, but thank you, Reinhardt." And Reinhardt says, "It's no problem." And he says, "What about the white whale, Subaru?" And Subaru says, "Good, good. We only have one more problem. Then you can go home, Jotaro." And Jotaro says, "Yeah." And as Jotaro says this, he starts to Jotaro passes out, and Subaru says, "Jotaro, what's wrong with you?" This is what Subaru is saying, and Jotaro's body starts to disappear, and he says, "What is this?" Right, this is Reinhardt saying this, and Subaru says, "What? How is this happening? What is she doing? Why are you going? Why are you going back?" "Jotaro, I still need you. We need to defeat the white whale." "Jotaro, can you hear me?" And Jotaro starts to disappear, and he goes back to the normal JoJo world. And as Jotaro disappears, Reinhardt pulls out his sword, and he says, "Subaru, what happened to Jotaro? Did you come here to kill me? Why would he disappear like that? That's not a part of that Archbishop power. It seems like he was sloth." And Subaru says, "I don't know, Reinhardt. Put away your sword." It's not like the powerful sword because Subaru is unworthy. It's not his powerful sword. And Reinhardt says, "I want you to stay in these woods until I get back to the capital of Lagunica. Then you can go there and go straight to Amelia's camp. And I don't want to see you until the royal selection. You understand me?" And Reinhardt walks backwards for about 10 minutes. He says, "What happened to Jotaro? What is this? This can't be. How did..." And Subaru says, "I didn't do anything wrong, Reinhardt. Just calm down." He says, "I should have known you were planning something. How did you know all about Betelgeuse like this? He was way too easy to defeat. Seems like you already weakened him or something. You knew all about them in the cave." He said, and Subaru says, "Like I said before, I knew about him because I heard it from a rumor." "And who was this rumor? Maybe I can find them." And he's saying this while he's walking back. He's yelling it. And Reinhardt he runs back to the capital. And Subaru says, "Good grief." And he says, "Well, it looks like I'll be staying out here for a while." And Subaru moves a little bit of the cave. The archbishops try to get out, but Subaru lights a fire and he throws it into the under the cave, and it starts to like I said, Subaru went in there earlier. It took him a couple times. Like I said, it took him 5 times to get all of this planned. And he put a lot of flammable material in there. So he burnt all of the witch cult's members in there. And so Subaru walks all the way back to Lagunica, the capital of Lagunica, where he sees Amelia. But we will go more into that later. We have to go back to Jotaro now. Subaru is going to try to resummon him. It'll take him a day or two to resummon him. And now it's been 3 years since Jotaro has seen Subaru. Yeah, time over there is a lot more faster. And like I said before, in my first couple of parts, and for part 1, it's going to take a couple of decades. So like 10 to 15 years for Jotaro to see his grandfather, Joseph. But he does meet Polnareff. Jotaro does meet Polnareff. Jotaro tries to find a stand arrow. He's learned more about them, and he's finally found where Polnareff is, and that's why he's wearing a different outfit. He says, "Jotaro, it's me, Jotaro, Polnareff. And Polnareff actually, Polnareff goes up to him and says, why'd you, it's been years since he's seen, Polnareff and Jotaro seen him. He says, I finally come back from my, trip from a different, world. It was alright, but it was a lot of killing I had to do. And, Polnareff says, what other world? Jotaro then explains he's been looking for before Polnareff. He didn't want to meet his Joseph yet because he probably needs Polnareff's help, and Joseph is starting to get old, so he doesn't want his grandfather to be involved in this. He says, I needed your help with something. If I get transported back there, I'm pretty sure he will be coming soon. It might have been 3 years, but he didn't want me to do all of what he wanted. And Polnareff says, who? He says his name was Subaru. He was trapped there also like I was, but he cannot escape. That's why he summoned me. He didn't have a stand or anything. He had magic. So there's other worlds, like I said. So there's many other worlds. There could be more stand users in those other worlds, like I said. And Jotaro says, now I want us to find all the stand arrows while we still can. There might be a reason how Subaru could get here. He maybe used a stand arrow or something. And yeah, Subaru didn't use a stand arrow. He just used Satella's power. And who knows? Maybe Satella Requiem might come in future parts. Oh my goodness. I just imagine Satella Requiem. Oh my goodness. What would that even be? 1 million hands? Like, like, she can already use 100. Like, what? No, I'm just imagining, like, 1 million hands? Would she be able to break out the seal and use, like, more hands at once without her tiring out? See, this is what I gotta think about. Jotaro already found a stand arrow in the last 3 years. He found the one that Diablo gets. So Diablo doesn't get his stand. So yeah, part 5 doesn't happen. And also while Jotaro was while he found that stand arrow, he defeated the old lady. He finally defeated her. He didn't want to waste any more time, so he sends her to jail for doing some crimes she did a couple of years ago. And Jotaro's just been doing a lot of things as much as he can. And yeah, Polnareff doesn't get crippled because Jotaro finds the stand arrow before Diablo. And yeah, Jotaro then walks away from Polnareff and he says, go search for more stand arrows. And that's what Polnareff does. And Jotaro will be going back to, he'll be going to part 4 in a future parts, but it's just going to be in a comatose state in the rezero world, or he might disappear altogether. I'm just telling you guys in the future. And as Jotaro is walking away from Polnareff, he gets the idea of finally visiting them. Like I said, it's been 3 years. He goes to see Joseph, and Joseph looks quite older than he should be. It's probably because he lost Jotaro. As Jotaro walks up to him, Joseph sees him, and he goes over there to try to hug Jotaro, and Holly's there and his grandmother, Suzy Q. He says hello, and Subaru appears. And Joseph uses his hermit purple to try to warn Jotaro. And Jotaro sees Subaru, and Subaru grabs him and brings him back to the ReZero world. So like I said, time goes a lot faster in that world than, oh my goodness, my stomach is growling, I'm hungry. ReZero goes slower than Jotaro's world. So that's how it's been like 3 years for Jotaro. Subaru summons him back to... oh my goodness, my eyes. Yeah, he summons him back to the world of ReZero. And Amelia is walking away as she sees like something popping out of Subaru's room. Yeah, they kind of had a similar argument, but Subaru doesn't say anything bad where it makes Amelia angry and doesn't want to cut off ties. And turns around and goes back and turns around and comes back and goes back in there. And Subaru says, "Jotaro is just here. That's all." And Amelia says, "Didn't Reinhardt? Yeah, Subaru doesn't fight. Oh my goodness, Julius in this one because he knows he would get beat up. He remembers that. Anyway, so he says, like I said, I apologize, Amelia. Thank you for coming back. Jotaro will be accompanying you." And Jotaro says, "I still need to repay back the Kurudushi's camp." And and Subaru says, "That's why I'm staying here. I'll repay the debt." And also, Subaru whispers in Jotaro's ear, and he says, "I apologize for making you go back to your world. I still need you to defeat the white whale. I don't know how many years it's been. It seems like it's been a long time since then, but keep this away from Amelia." And Amelia then comments on Jotaro's clothes changement, and Jotaro says, I'm not going to keep anything from anyone anymore." And Jotaro says, "Listen, Amelia, I'm actually from a different world." And Amelia says, "Oh, really?" And Jotaro says, "No, trust me, I actually am." And Amelia doesn't believe Jotaro. And he says, "Look at me. Look how much I changed in just a couple of weeks. Don't I look a little bit older?" And Amelia says, "You look younger." I'm sorry. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's what Amelia would say. Ain't gonna lie. Jotaro would look like the Jotaro I just showed you. Part 5 Jotaro. You see part 5 Jotaro. Like, he actually looks like he's 18. You cannot tell me he doesn't look 18, at least. Anyway, so Jotaro says, I look younger? He says, "Never mind that. I went back to my world and I aged about 3 years. And I have now come back here to help with the white whale." And Subaru says, "Be quiet, Jotaro." And Amelia says, "What's with white whale? Is it going to be attacking soon?" And Jotaro says, "Yes, and we'll be needing your help to defeat it. It could destroy Lagunica, possibly, if Reinhardt doesn't know about it. Reinhardt already knows about this already. And Subaru was trying to keep this from you because he doesn't want you to get hurt. Maybe, and that's why you probably had an argument. It seems like you guys have an argument because you guys would be a lot more friendlier." And he says, "I'll be going back after I kill the white whale. As a temporary night, I'll keep coming back soon. I'll come back when you need me the most. Or Subaru will summon me. Now, I'll fight your last battle, for now at least. The white whale, and you'll be proven that you're very worthy of becoming queen of this land." And Jotaro says, "We need to get the preparations ready." And Amelia is saying, "How do you know all this?" And Subaru says, "I know because I discovered a rumor about the white whale, and its fog is getting closer to Lagunica. And that's why I've been away for a while." This is what Subaru is saying. And she says, "Why didn't you tell me about this?" And she walks away and she says, "I'll get everything ready. I'll see you in a couple of days." And Subaru says, "Thank you, Amelia." And Subaru says, "Oh, I can't believe it's actually going to change. This is a lot more different than I thought it would be." And Jotaro says, "You need to be more truthful to yourself. You stop hiding things from Amelia." And Subaru says, "You've changed quite a lot in 3 years, it seems. I only haven't seen you in a day or two. You missed the royal selection." And Jotaro says, "I need to say goodbye to this camp before I leave off." And Amelia walks ahead of Jotaro. And Jotaro apologizes for not being here for that long. And Felix says to come back at any time. And Karush wishes him well. Well. Okay, I'm tripping. I'm tripping today. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, so everyone gets ready for the white whale attack. Jotaro also tells Karush about it too. And a similar way that what Subaru said to Karush. And all of them get ready. And now it's time for the next part, the white whale attack. And then we'll move into season 2 territory in 3 parts. I'm too good at this. As Jotaro is walking up into the mansion, he finally sees the twins. Okay, he hasn't seen them in a while. And yeah, he also says hi to the villagers while he's there. And they stop their conversation, and Rem hears about the witch cultists, about how Jotaro he killed one of the archbishops, and that's where Amelia stops the conversation. And Rem says, "What was this about the archbishops?" And Amelia says, "It's no time for that. We need to prepare for the white whale." Subaru's been hiding information about it. And Rem respects. This is like simping Rem. Like, she respects Subaru a lot. She says, "Why would he do such a thing?" Oh, hold on, I gotta sound like Rem. "Why would he do such a thing?" Now this is Ram's new voice. It doesn't sound like Toga. This is Toga's voice. This is Ram's voice. No, wait, hold on. Now this is Ram's. Okay, I can't do my voices. My puberty hit me at some weird puberty. It's just I can't do my voices anymore. I can do the Toga voice. Okay, so anyway, I started thinking of My Hero all of a sudden. I don't know. It's starting to become the opposite. Okay, so Rem, I've just been rambling a lot, so my apologies. I won't be rambling a lot for the next video for next week or tomorrow. It depends. Just tell me. Rem then says, "Okay, where will the white whale be?" And Amelia explains what they're going to do. We're going to make a formation. And she already instructed everyone in the village to make a formation too. And Roswald is, he's in the mansion right now. So like I was saying, I had to edit something out. Yeah, we go over to Roswald. I don't have the picture for him. I don't feel like getting one. Oh no, I'm being petty. My apologies. Anyway, yeah, Rem follows them to Roswald, and Ram is in there, and they also explain what's going on to Roswald, and Roswald will be helping because it's already changed so much from his gospel. He says, I thought Jotaro was eliminated. That's what it said it was going to do. Yeah, his gospel has already changed so much. So yeah, he saw that Jotaro would disappear and be gone for 3 years. That's what his gospel said. But now Jotaro is back, and he can most definitely tell that Jotaro has gotten older or younger. Everyone thinks he got younger. And Jotaro says, "I can see something poking out of your Yeah, Jotaro sees his gospel with Star Platinum, and he says, "That's a gospel, the one that Betelgeuse had, Roswald. Why do you have such a thing?" And Amelia and Rem and Ram looked at Roswald weirdly for a second, and he says, "No, it's just a normal book." And he pulls it out, and he fakes it with another book. He says, "It's just a normal book. You might be just a little bit traumatized from finding that archbishop, that it looks like a gospel." And he says, "I'll research more into that gospel thing. Maybe Beatrice knows more about it." And Roswald says, "You probably shouldn't. You should get rest." And Jotaro says, "I can get a lot of rest. Trust me. I had lots of rest for the last 3 years." And Rem and Ram are like 3 years. And Jotaro explains that he went back to his world. He's from a different world. He explains the whole thing, and they don't believe him. but they know that he changed his clothing and he looks weird, more younger. Yeah, younger. I keep forgetting he looks younger. So they kind of believe him. And he says, "I'll be going to see Beatrice. She might know more about the gospel." And yeah, so Subaru goes over to. I mean, Subaru is just chilling. He's just eating some food or something. I wonder what Subaru would be doing right now, if like in this scenario. Like, is he just like training? Like, I would be training if I was Subaru, like this Subaru, slothful Subaru. I would say, because he's in love with Rem in this route. I think I'm pretty sure this is slothful Subaru, or he chooses Rem over Amelia. So I'm pretty sure he's still gonna choose Rem in this route. Anyway, that doesn't matter right now. I just had a weird thought. Never mind. Oh no, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Oh, oh, good grief. Anyway, so Jotaro goes to visit Beatrice, and Jotaro walks in and he says, "I need to know about gospels. Do you know anything about them?" And Beatrice ignores him. And Jotaro shows Roswell this gospel. Jotaro grabbed it while Roswell wasn't looking and paying attention. And he says, "Do you know what this is? It's Roswell's." And Beatrice then shut up for a second. And Jotaro says, "So you do know about gospels? Then tell me all about them." And he says, "I don't care that Roswell has a gospel. Just tell me all about them because Betelgeuse had one." And that name rang a bell in Beatrice's head, and she says, "You know where it's at?" And this Jotaro says Subaru has it. But anyway, I'm going to be going back to my world soon, and I just wanted to explain. I'll be here on and off again. And Jotaro finally remembered something, and he says, "I never did have time to check. You have any books about babies?" This Jotaro is different. I ain't gonna lie. Jotaro is being on the sus side while getting the stand arrows. He is 21, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, so basically, Jolene's gonna be born soon. That's what I mean. Like, Jotaro is moving around, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's with Jolene's mother. You know, like I said, it's been 3 years. So he has his child around his 20s or something, early 20s. And then part 4 happens, and she's like not like 9 or 10 or something. I can't remember. Anyway, so that's why he says, "You got some books or something?" And Beatrice is asks, would you need such books?" And Jotaro says, "Well, I was thinking I needed for a future event." And Beatrice knows what he means. He says, "You're very young to be having children." And Jotaro says, "I'm in my 20s. It doesn't matter." And she says, "So that's why you're going to be leaving the mansion? Why don't you just bring your child here along with the woman?" And Jotaro says she's from another world. That won't work. Also, don't tell anyone else about it. I want to keep it a secret for now. And he grabs the books and he says, "Very interesting." Yeah, Jotaro has already had Jolene. She's not born yet, but she's on the way. That's why Jotaro wants to hurry up and get back. I wanted to leave it out to keep it a mystery, but Jotaro, it's like I said, it's been like 3 years. He would already had Jolene by now, or be close to having her. But I wanted to leave it a secret. But I just spit it out right now. And Jotaro walks out of Beatrice's library, and everything gets prepared. And Jotaro slips back. He stops time and slips the gospel right back into Roswell's. Oh my goodness, what is it? His coat pocket. Yeah, that thing. And as he does that, he walks over and he walked right past Amelia. She was right by the door, so she possibly could have she heard what Jotaro was saying. She was about to open up the door. He wasn't paying attention. He was just trying to get back the gospel back to Roswell. And Jotaro says, "Oh, this isn't good." Well, he just then tries to train his time stopping hormone for the rest of the day, and then he goes to sleep so the battle of the white whale can happen. No, Smokey. No fries. I had a fry in my hand, and my dog. Hey, stop! Hey! He's walking on the Bible. We don't do that here. Okay, Smokey, stop. Anyway, yeah. So yes, the white whale is about to appear, and Amelia apologizes to Jotaro, and Subaru says, what did you do, Amelia?" Yeah, Subaru is here, and Amelia says, "For making you come all the way out here, you should be back in your world, like you said, especially if you have a child on the way." And Subaru says, "A child?" And Jotaro says, "So you did overhear that. My apologies. I'll still try to be here to save you. Try to be a knight at least. But we will worry about that later." And Subaru is just surprised that Jotaro is having a child. And Amelia says, "So, is it actually true? Do you just kiss someone and then they become pregnant?" And Jotaro says, "No, that's not true at all." And Jotaro says, "You have to do a lot more than that in my world." And Subaru then says, "Yes, you have to do a lot more than that also, Amelia. Who told you that such a lie?" And Amelia felt embarrassed, but she quickly gained, yes, so that season 2 moment doesn't happen. Yeah, Jotaro just explains a gist of it. And he says, "It's no time to worry about that. Right now, we have to fight the white whale. As it appears right in front of them. They weren't paying attention to the fog." Okay, my dog started doing something weird. Anyway, the white whale appears, and Wilhelm is the first one to attack. And Reinhardt uses his loot house attack. Okay, I'm being weird. Anyway, so after Reinhardt uses his loot house attack, after Wilhelm attacks the white whale, yeah, he jumps up and slashes it through the middle, and he's running all across it. That's what Wilhelm is doing, and that brings the white whale down for just a moment. And Jotaro stops time, and he moves a lot closer to it, and he starts punching out all of the oh my goodness, my throat, all of the white whale's teeth. Jotaro kept training with his hormone and stuff, and he then rearranged the teeth to go inside of the white whale's throat, so it starts to make it bleed from the inside while he's doing that. And he then says, "Resume," and the white whale starts screaming out in pain. And all of the other people that are there, Ricardo, Julius is also there. They also use another attack to cut and bruise the white whale. And then Karush slashes at it too. And then the white whale flies up and tries to split into another, oh my goodness, into his other his 3 parts of itself, you could say. It tries to do that, but Jotaro stops time again. And he donuts one of the fake white whales. He takes out one of its hearts. And then in another 5 seconds, he jumps over to the other one, and he takes the heart out of that one, and then he kicks the normal white whale back into them. Yeah, like I said, Jotaro, he's only using 10 seconds, but he can use longer because he kept training with it. He can probably use up to 15 to 30 seconds, possibly, if he wants to. But he just needs 10 seconds because he kept training. He never stopped training because he looked for the stand arrows. He found more information about them, like I said. That's how he thinks Subaru got to him, but he hasn't had time to explain how about it. Anyway, so Jotaro then says, the world once more as he's falling straight into the white whale. He he just stops time again, and he sees the white whale is about to. My apologies. About to eat Wilhelm. So he throws Wilhelm out the way and replaces him. Well, he only used it for 10 seconds, and he goes inside the white whale, and he punches. He punches the inside of it too. Like the teeth are also inside of it, and he's reusing them as he's punching the white whale with Star Platinum. And he busts right through the whale's gut, and it starts to gush out everywhere. And Wilhelm takes out one of its eye, and Reinhardt gets the final blow on the white whale, and Subaru sets final attack, join Jotaro and Wilhelm to finish it off. And I don't know why I'm coughing. My apologies. I ate like a piece of fry, like I said earlier, and I just started choking on it. It's like probably something stuck in. I'm gonna pause on that anyway. Yes. So Reinhardt finishes off the white whale, and they kill it. And Jotaro then gets out of the white whale, and he says, "Finally, it's done." And Jotaro sees that he's disappearing again, and Subaru says, "Don't worry, I know how to stop time a little bit better with you. I did a little bit of studying with it. So it'll only be a couple of years. Only 1 to 2 years until we next see you again. Take care of your child, Jotaro." And this is where I'll be leaving off for this part. For Jotaro. But it's still not done yet. Subaru, as he gets, oh my goodness. Subaru, as Jotaro disappears, Reinhardt says, "So Jotaro is from a different world. And he goes there every time he does something important for you." And Subaru says, "Yes, he does go there." And Subaru says, "I'll be cleaning up the white whale." So everyone helps with cleaning up the white whale. And Subaru and Karush and Rem are the final ones to leave. Reinhardt already left with the first of the other troops. And as Reinhardt doesn't run into to the archbishops. But Subaru runs into them. Anyway, he runs into Regulus and the other dude. You know oh my goodness, I forgot his name. Gluttony, the first Gluttony dude. I forgot his name. I can't remember it. Anyway, as he runs, Subaru runs into them, and he says, "Can you please move out the way?" And then he feels a dark presence from both of them as they're in a carriage and they're riding back. Oh yeah, and Petrash is back at one of the villages, so Petrash is not going to get killed. Subaru says, "We need to get out of here, Rem and Karush. This man's dangerous. These men are dangerous." And she just shoots an attack right into one of them. And Subaru says, "No, stop." And yes, her arm gets taken off. And Subaru, he says, "Oh no." And Subaru tries to make Rem run away, but she says, "We fought the white whale. We can most definitely, one of us needs to stay behind so the other one can escape." And Subaru says, I'm not going to lose you again." And Rem says, "What do you mean, lose me again?" And Subaru says, he then stops himself and he says, "I'll tell you all about my true feelings about you when we defeat these guys. I'm not going to leave you." And yes, Subaru stands his guard against Regulus. And I'm sorry I ran out of photos. So they will be fighting Regulus for part 4. Rem and Subaru will be fighting in Karush, but her arm is like taken off, so she's kind of useless. They'll be fighting Karush for the next part. I mean, yeah, Regulus and Gluttony dude, I forgot his name. They'll be fighting, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this part. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Maybe Monday. Who knows?